Hey guys, what is going on? This is Pantsar Dragon, and today we're going to be doing a video on my new mentality when, going for rank 1 or just climbing in general. As of today and while making this video, I am currently ranked 30 on the ladder, while mainly playing jungle and not support. So I think this video should have some credibility. Anyways, back to my climb for rank 1 and my new mentality for just climbing in general. So basically, I think some people have been noticing that basically I've become more of a douchebag, especially from season 6 to season 7. Or some people have been saying I've been more toxic when it's just basically I'm the same person. I just view the game differently than I did before. And so this video is just going to be me talking about my new mentality versus my season 6 mentality and why I've changed my way of taking solo queue. And so this video is actually going to be very controversial because I know a lot of people will disagree with me on my new mentality or just say you're stupid, etc. But I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments below on, your mentality of approaching solo queue and how to win or improve, etc. Every opinion matters, but my opinion matters a little bit more because, I've gotten up there and I'm not playing support anymore. I'm playing jungle, and I think this is one of my best seasons I've played in, and I think I've improved a lot since season 6. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video on what's changed and the new mentality. Also, this video will be edited and sponsored by Pro Guides. Check them out for all your rank game needs, and you can talk to them if you need some help with League. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get started. So in season 6, my mentality was I feed, but then I win, which was basically getting carried, right? Because I didn't really know how to carry, so I just played Soraka, which actually got me very high, 700 LP. But that's because she was always available, no one banned her, people were idiots, so I abused her. But unfortunately, the reason I could get so much LP was because of Soraka, not because of my actual skill. At the time, there were a lot better junglers than me, so just give them the jungle role, right? Get carried, etc. Win the game. Easy game. Each game was a 50-50, well, more like 60-40 because I was playing Soraka. And each game was basically a gamble. Whichever team had the better teammates would win. But I'd be playing Soraka, which gave my team the edge. So yeah, basically I was an E-girl. I wanted E-boys to carry me so I can get some of that juicy LP and their juicy cock because I'm gay as well. Well, at least that's what all you guys are saying. And yeah, feed to win mentality, am I right? I mean, I did play jungle, but I knew there were so many better junglers. I was like, why don't I just let them jungle? I'll probably get LP, but I can jungle if needed, so that was always an option. And so basically this is what I like to call not the carry mentality. This is the E-girl mentality. Carry me, Either way, even when I was playing support, I didn't know how to win, I just played it and that's it. I didn't actually know how to win. I didn't know what I could do to make this game better and more winnable. I just fucking healed people and played Soraka. And then basically season 6 ended. I had some fun in the preseason, and then season 7 started, and that's where things got a little weird. First of all, my placement matches, they didn't go so well. In fact, I'm pretty sure I went 5-5 or something. Actually, I don't remember, but basically I was stuck in Platinum 1 for a while, given the excuse that, some high elo players were still in Platinum 1 and still climbing, of course, too. But from what I remember when I was climbing in Platinum 1, a majority of the players I didn't notice, so they were either Diamond 3 or, Platinum 1 last season, etc. I don't actually remember, but basically if I didn't recognize them, they're probably not Master or Challenger players. So essentially I couldn't win against some Diamond players, and at the time I was just getting super frustrated. I'm like, this fucking sucks, I'm fucking garbage. And then all of a sudden, I discovered a champion named Hecarim. And the reason I play this champion so much, and is the champion who essentially got me the challenger this season, was because he's essentially the carry jungler. Since he has a shit ton of mobility, he's really good at farming, his damage output when he gets Trinity Force is really good, and his snowball potential is super high. And also at the beginning of the season, I did kind of have a carry mentality because I knew everyone around me was not the best players, and matchmaking at the beginning of the season is just all over the place. So yeah, you'd get a lot of weird games and stuff like that. But yeah, I was losing some of those games and I was like, what the I just felt like garbage, But then, again, I found Hecarim and I started climbing super fast. And after losing so many games, something inside me just triggered and said, my teammates are garbage. Don't ever trust your teammates. Like, if you want to climb, don't trust your teammates. Trust only yourself. Trust that you're the only one who can carry. I mean, you can trust your teammates and like be a support or whatever, but you have to give them the tools to carry. Of course, sometimes they won't carry and maybe, you know, they throw to your lead. Even if you gave them that lead, if you're a jungler or a support, then that kind of sucks. But, you know, that's not really your fault. That's, you know, your teammates' fault for not carrying, even though you gave them 4 kills. And here's the thing, let's say you listen to your teammates. Well, you're basing your actions off your teammates, not yourself. And so if you're basing your actions only off your teammates and kind of relying on your mechanics, well, guess what? You're gonna have inconsistencies in your gameplay, and you're gonna be your team's bitch and be indecisive when it comes down to it. So in that sense, that's why you always hear me say, I gotta stop trusting my teammates. They just make these calls that I follow with sometimes, and then I realize that, oh my god, this is so stupid, why am I following you? I know if you didn't say anything, I probably wouldn't have done that, but I followed anyways, and then we threw, and then basically, yeah, that's why I always say that. Like, even if your teammates are high or low, and they like say, you know, do this or do that, and they're telling you what to do, you can be open-minded. This is like definitely a hard one to do, but if it kind of impacts your play, or like it makes you do something out of the ordinary and you're not playing your game anymore, then it can definitely tilt you or make you do something that's shittier for you. For instance, if your top laner calls for a gank but you're like in your bot side jungle, are you gonna go all the way to the top side and gank for him, or are you gonna clear your bot side and then gank mid or bot lane? Like before, people have called for ganks, and then I've basically ran to their lane and tried to gank for them. It would work out, it might not work out, but either way, my first decision before that was to just clear the golems or some shit, and then I might do something. Of course, the best thing they should tell me is if their flash is down, then I can make my plan based off of that. If I want to gank or not, you know, usually I will, because that's an easy gank. But basically what I'm trying to say is I want to improve my game. I don't want to base my decisions off my teammates, so I say all the time, I should never trust my teammates. Like before, I would be a side bitch and kind of be open-minded and just do whatever that floats my boat, and was like, ooh, okay, let's do this and shit like that. But now I'm a person who knows how to win games, carry games, close out games, and just know what the game plan is in my head. In certain situations, I don't need anyone else's opinions unless, like, you know, there are situations where I'm just like, what do we do? And I actually don't know, so I just ask my team in those situations. Your ego is actually very important to not tilting. So like, if someone calls you shit or like, what are you doing, you garbage player, etc. In that sense, they are questioning your decision making or your, you know, your game, your play. Obviously, if you know it was a bad play, then yes, you can agree with them. But like, I kind of analyze the situation and I like kind of think about it. And I'm like, could I have done anything there, or like, was it bad? And then I'll be like, nah, fuck this kid. He don't know shit. Unless he was higher ranking than me, then I will actually be like, okay, I really consider your opinion. So I'm gonna take that into consideration, and maybe for next time I won't do something like that. But like, yeah, I mean, if he's like lower yellow, or say you're silver 1 and he's silver 1, it's like, you might both be wrong. I mean, to be honest, let's just assume you're both wrong. Maybe you're both right. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The thing you should be focusing on is your own play, not your teammates, or your teammates impacting your play as well. Like, you know, what I've realized is this is a team game, but like, your play, your confidence, and your own decision making is what matters in your solo queue games, because you're the one factor, the one variable that can definitely swing a game into a win or loss depending on how you play. Because like, your team and enemies you face, it's RNG. Honestly, you get idiots, you get shitters, you get godlike players, you get the smurfs, etc. And it's basically RNG on what you get. You know, I always hear, oh my god, my teammates are shit. I like went like 9-4, but my bot lane, they just threw and like fucking jerked off and then went AFK or something. You know, blaming your teammates, but like, you may have gone like 5-7. And are you really satisfied with your performance? The answer is, you know, you're probably avoiding it or whatever. But honestly, if you went like 7-3, alright, that's a shitty bot lane, that sucks. But like, you should always, in my opinion, just self-reflect and be like, are you happy with your performance? Do you think you did good this game? Yes or no? If yes, then good job. You tried your best. Next game. Like, there's some games I can't even carry because, you know, shit happens. My teammates suck. I went 8-4. Okay, I'm happy with my performance. If I go like 5 and 9 and 13, and my bot lane went 1 and 7, I'm still not happy with my performance because I went 5 and 9. So yeah, and like, when they're getting shit on 1 and 7 in the bot lane, I just like, I don't care. I mean, I kind of do care, but I'm still trying to make things happen. Like, okay, if they're 1 and 7, don't ever visit that bot lane. Let's just try and play around top and mid. Like, usually in those situations, I'm just trying to think, what can I do to win this game? And I try to come up with a plan and try to execute it, or I try and play my game. Again, this mentality also promotes just improving your own game, so you can improve your playstyle and just emphasize on it. Whether you're like let's say a Singe main, maybe you want to split or proxy farm, or do you want to group up and team fight? There's these 3 things you can do in the mid game, and that's a lot of decision making you have to go through. But throughout the games, you improve and get a feel for what you have to do in certain situations, just because you've been through so many, and then you become more decisive and confident on what to do next. And every second in this game counts, so it's good to be decisive and do things instantly instead of like walking around and chasing people. And like, also, again, whenever I say my teammates are garbage, it sounds really bad, I know. I don't, verbally say it to them because that's mean, and there's no point in saying it to them, honestly. There's no point. But I just keep saying it in my head and out loud because in this sense, if I keep thinking they are garbage, I won't listen to them, and I won't base my decisions off what they're trying to do or whatever. So in that sense, I won't trust them, and the only person I can trust is myself. Obviously, if he's high LP or he's challenger, etc., then I will kind of trust him. But if he's like master or diamond, nah, I don't think it's the best idea. Like, if I actually think that, like, say a diamond 3 is in my game and he's a good player, I'm going to be like, oh shit, maybe that was a good play, I can learn off that, etc. Or why is he doing that? Oh my god, that's interesting, like I never knew that. But then I'd be downgrading and learning off a D3 player, So in that sense, I can't trust them because I might take off something off of them and then put it into my own playstyle, and that would not be the most optimal thing to do if I want to keep climbing with my own playstyle. Like, a good example is streamers. I know, like, I've seen it before. I think Doublelift and I'm a Cutie Pie, really high up in the ladder, always say I have garbage teammates, etc. And I kind of understand why. It's because I think it's very similar to how I just kind of explained it. They don't want to base their decisions off their teammates because it's inconsistent, so they can only trust their own kind of gameplay. And I kind of agree with this mentality. I think it's really good for climbing. It's a little toxic, but it kind of helps you only focus on yourself. And you, the player, going into these games with 9 other players, are the one who controls these games and can swing it into your favor or, lose it all. Now, this video is already long and I didn't really mean it to be that late. It just, I just wanted to get everything out there in my head. Kind of have a little rant. I know there's like one thing that I think some people have said before, but let's say I didn't get jungle and there's like a master tier jungler or even diamond 1 and he doesn't give me jungle, I will either dodge. Actually, I'll probably dodge, or I'll try to convince him to give it to me. But if he doesn't give it to me, usually it ends up in a dodge, because I don't trust any diamond junglers to perform as well as I do. And obviously, if I'm in an off-roll, like say top lane, then I will not have as much impact as I do if I were a jungler, because that's how I climbed this season, with jungle, not top lane. Now, pro players and streamers have it easy because everyone sees that they're good, so they're like, you can have AD carry or something like that. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they just get AD carry for free, and super simple for them. Also, I just wanted to throw a random thing out there. If you have anxiety in ranked games, or like, you're not confident and you're just like scared that you might lose or something, what I do in my head is I see enemy team and I'm like, these guys are garbage players, which gives me the confidence to just play my game and, keep it simple and don't do anything out of the ordinary. Because if you're scared towards enemy team, like let's say they have the #1 Hecarim, you're gonna be a little scared. But honestly, if you think he's a garbage player, you're gonna do your thing, you're gonna carry, and you're gonna shit on that person. It doesn't matter if he's a #1 Hecarim, he's in your elo and you're playing with him, so you're even in that sense. In conclusion, I've developed a mentality where I only trust myself. I trust players who are better than me. I don't trust diamond or master players, and I won't listen to my teammates if they tell me to gank top right now or something like that. I'll just be like, okay, let me do Wraith and Golem, then I'll come top. Or, I mean, if it's a good gank and I see that, okay, I'll go for it, you know? It just depends if it flows and goes with my game. Like, you know, when you get those feelings where someone calls a Baron and you're like, I don't know about this, that's where you gotta like say something and be like, no, this is fucking stupid, don't do it, you know? I always get those feelings. I always just like, it might work, but then it doesn't work. I'm like, stupid fucking teammates, and then, you know, that's my fault for not laying down the law. So yeah, that's why I've come down to this mentality. I've trusted my teammates too much, and the only one I can trust is myself. Oh yeah, and people who are higher elo than me. But yeah, I think that's basically it. You know, I didn't really explain what my game is, but that might be for another video. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but it might be fun to do. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did like this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you didn't, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, I am Pantsar Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.